What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we are going to talk about the importance of keeping your sunroof drain tube cleaned out. Now, let's take a look at that customer complaint. Let's look at number 5. Customer states, when it rains, driver front floor gets wet. Now, it's crazy. I just did a video about this, talking about the operation of the sunroof drain tube and keeping them clean. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is open up the door, get inside, and I'm going to open up that sunroof. And we're going to see what's going on inside. Open up the sunroof so we can get access to the top tray or on top of the glass. Now let's look down in there. Right off rip, I can already see on the driver's side that sunroof drain tube or that drainage is already clogged. You see all that dirt build up there? There's supposed to be a small diameter hole that you're supposed to be able to at least be able to see so the water can drain out. Right off rip, I could already see all that muddy substance. And once that sunroof tray gets overloaded with water, it ultimately comes out of that headliner. See how that tray has that lip? Once it gets over flooded, water is coming inside of your car. And you can see residue of water still sitting in that corner. Now that's that passenger driver's side. Sorry. Now let's take a look at that passenger side. You see how it's much cleaner and than the driver? This, you could actually see the diameter of that drainage in that tray system. That little hole you see is connected to the tube running inside your A-pillar. For more information, you guys could check out the video on my page where I talk a little bit more in depth on how the tray system and the sunroof and how the drainage system works. But if you check that passenger side, night and day difference between the driver's side. Making our way back to the driver's side, you can see how all that muddy substance has built up on that driver's side. You can't even see the drain hole on the driver's side tray system. I'm trying to focus the camera a little bit for you guys, but it's night and day difference. I could clearly see why the water is making its way inside of the driver front floor carpet. Now, I'm gonna get some water here, and this is how you can test it too at home, guys. I'm on the passenger side. As you can tell, it's the side that's a lot more cleaner. So when I pour water inside of that tray system, water is supposed to drain out of that drainage, that hole you see, and it's supposed to ultimately make its way down inside of that A-pillar and then make its way on the floor. Now, as I pour that water in that tray system catches it, and you see how it made its way inside that drainage hole you saw there, and now it's making its way out onto the floor. That's what's supposed to happen. Now let's compare it to the driver's side. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing, get my bottle of water. Like I said, same steps you guys can do at home, just to make sure your tube are able to drain water sufficiently so you don't have an overflow. See how the water is just kind of sitting there? Let me try to get the little thing out your way. Night and day difference. This is the driver's side. So remember, the customer complained again. Driver front floor carpet is getting wet. So as I pour water inside that tray system, it's not able to drain. And I'm so happy this car actually came in because I get to show you guys a real life example of the stuff that we see. So now that water can't drain inside of that drainage tube or that drainage hole that's supposed to be there, water overflows into the headliner and then make its way inside of that A-pillar. And then from the A-pillar, it makes its way down into your front floor carpet. Thus, that's why the customer's complaining about it. If that side was cleared out just like the passenger side, then we wouldn't have this issue. So I'm gonna get my little nozzle here just to blow some shop air. Not a lot, just a little bit. You don't need to have a lot of air, just a little bit so you can free up the debris that's inside of that tube. Because if you use too much shop air, what you can do is dislodge the tube that's inside, that's connected to that little drainage hole, and then you're back to square one. So instead of the water draining into that tube, water is just draining straight into your A-pillar. So I'm just blowing some shop air there, not a lot of pressure. See how you can see the hole now? Before it was covered up in mud. So just a little shop air, just to kind of free up the muddy debris. And now that's it. That's all it takes to clear up the drainage or the tube inside of your sunroof tray. Now, notice how I pour water. The water just drained out effortlessly. No problem. Before it was starting to back up, it had nowhere to go. So imagine you in a heavy rainstorm. So if that system is not working properly, as it rains, water will just keep building up on that tray. And your first complaint would be, hey, I'm getting water in my front floor carpet. So you definitely want to make sure that tube is exposed or that hole there is exposed and water is able to drain out. You see, it doesn't take much. So if you're getting your car serviced every 20,000 miles, make sure you talk to your technician or your advisor. Hey, can you make sure they check out my sunroof drain tube? It doesn't have to be every time, every 20K, 1,000 miles, every 30,000 miles, or even as regular as you want. You can't be wrong with this routine maintenance. Keeping that drain hole cleaned out and your sunroof tray is very important. Now let's take a look at the damage that this drain tube clog issue has caused this customer. Take a look at the driver front floor carpet. You see how soaking wet that floor is? That carpet is drenched. Let me take off the floor mat so you guys can have a better visual. Look at that. Now, unfortunately, there's no other symptom to a clogged drain tube. By the time you realize it is because you already found yourself in this situation where the only thing that notified you is the carpet being soaking wet. And by then it's already too late. So let me take out some of these interior trims and scuff plates so you guys can take a look underneath the carpet. So hopefully at this point, no mold has developed and the carpet is free of mold. So if they caught it early, the customer has a good chance to, save themselves some money. But take a look at this, guys. Look at that. It's like a puddle of water underneath. That is not what you want. And you see, it didn't take much for me to clear out those drains. You could do it, every month if you want to. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot of pressure. But man, it's such a simple little maintenance that you can add to your maintenance plan can save you this trouble or headache. And it's unfortunate for this customer because what they're gonna have to do now is remove the whole interior carpet, front seats, passenger seat, and then really do a thorough cleaning, replacing the carpet, first of all, and trying to get rid of all this mold. You can see some mold already developed on the passenger side, but it's pretty much dry. It's not as wet as the driver's side. Actually, it's not wet at all. But I'm still gonna do a check underneath the carpet just to make sure no water made it to the other side because it can overflow. And the customer even has some mold in their center console, so they must have some underlying condition or some issue before even coming here with this water leak. There's no reason why there should be mold in that cup holder. But anyways, that's the least of their worries. So I'm just gonna try to peel back that carpet on the passenger side. And I could already tell it's a lot more drier than the driver's front. Let's take a look underneath. That's how the floorboard is supposed to look on the driver's side. But remember, there was a pool of water there. So that's not what you guys want. So good thing it didn't actually get to the harness. Sometimes it would corrode the terminals on those harness. On the harness you see there in that corner, they love corroding the junction block connector located on both driver and passenger side corner. But yeah, guys, such a simple maintenance routine plan you can add, on your list just to avoid this headache. Most of the time, the customer will just say, hey, clean out the drains for me and just give me back the car and I'm going to take it and I'm going to let the carpet dry out in the sun. I'm going to wait for a sunny day. But that's not going to do the trick. It doesn't take long to just blow some air or get some Q-tips to make sure you pass in that drainage that you're looking at. And you can ultimately save yourself a lot of money and a big headache. And believe it or not, that carpet will start to stink over time. So, like I said, by the time you realize it, it's because your front floor is already saturated with water. So don't let this be you guys. That's all I got for you guys today. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching.